Morpheus 3. Morpheus Entertainment.
Hello you guys, Morpheus here with another live BG, but it's not really about the BG itself, it's more about some other stuff I want to tell you guys. And one of those things is Morpheus 3. And me slacking content. I mean, I haven't uploaded a video in a week. The reason for that is Morpheus 3. And a lot of people don't underestimate, or I mean, they do underestimate and they don't know how much work it actually is. And I think you can only really know if you're an editor yourself or if you make videos like, you know, like Morpheus 1, Tyrus 1, Cobreak, I don't know how many, 17, you know, actually Tyrus has 3 now. Zen made one not so long ago, Independence made one, you know, Battlemaster maybe, I don't know, like Census, Slice and Dice. You know, it's like those guys, they do a lot of editing and they know that like a project like that takes a lot of work. And I mean, if you just make a video like this, like a live BG, it doesn't require any editing, like a little bit of editing, but not a lot. And this is quite, even this takes an hour or two to make, you know, like 1 hour at least. So it still takes some time, but making like Morpheus 3, man, that takes insane amount of time. And for example, I made an intro. The intro was 1 minute 30 seconds, and it took me 30 hours to make it. So if you do like a little bit of mathematics there, that means that every hour I produced 3 seconds of footage. That's not a lot. That's certainly not a lot. But the thing is, I used all kinds of special effects and stuff like that. It was pretty insane. And I had like a lot of different layers. Like I also had to learn. Let me just tell you something how this normally works, you know, because it might be interesting for you guys. Like you start with a general idea, you know, I want to make Morpheus 1 or whatever, and I want to show this and this and this kind of things, you know, maybe 1vx, some one shots, arena, some duels, you know, and then you start planning, you know, I need to find someone for the duels, I need to record footage, so you start recording footage and everything. And then you want to maybe create a sort of setting in which it is in, you know, like the intro really determines the setting of the whole thing. So yeah, Morpheus 1 was all yeah, like more about the one shots and stuff, and the intro was actually quite a standard intro that you see a lot with these or montages. Like you see some panning, camera panning of the Mist of Pandaria area, and that was it. For Morpheus 3, I had like a little bit of background story, you know, like, you know, there is some balance in the world and it's got disturbed by the Alliance, and the Horde has to fix it or whatever to win, whatever. So that was kind of the background story if you have seen that movie, or video. It's not really a movie, it's like 24 fucking minutes, it's not really a movie, you can't call that a movie. Anyways, so that video, if you've seen a video. So yeah, you know, I had a little bit of background story, a little bit more impressive intro, you know, with some, but it was all in-game footage, all in-game. But you need to plan that, you know, I need to go there and there and there and then start recording. Now I did it completely over the top, epicness, and the next level of editing, I would say, if I can brag, you know, that much. I don't like bragging, but I'm doing it anyways. So I think it's pretty epic, but I took it to the next level, meaning that I'm not, like a lot of footage was not recorded in-game in the intro, but it's like machinima style, like, you know, you use WoW model viewer, and then a lot of After Effects, and you know, stuff like that, and I'm destroying these people here. Wow, look at that damage. No, but yeah, it's just a lot of work and whatever, you know. So yeah, you have to plan also that and what you make. And those 30 hours that I mentioned is without the planning. That's just pure editing, not even the planning stuff. Because I'm already planning and thinking of how I'm going to make Morpheus 3 for like 2 weeks or something, I don't know, like a pretty long time. I also have to drink in between these talks because my throat will get sore and whatever. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work, and then you collect, you know, you plan more and collect more footage and then edit it. You know, it takes weeks, like I don't know, like 80 or 100 hours of your time or more. Especially if you see like Cobra 17. I can imagine it took like I don't know how many hours to make it. It's fucking insane. So yeah, anyways, other things I want to talk to you about. Well, actually, oh yeah, the people that are in it, in Morpheus are, first of all, Pilaf, the warrior. I did some duels with him that will be in the movie. Tyrus, the boomkin. We did some 3v3. Then I have Kobrak in the movie. We did some 2v2. Census, I still need to record that actually, but we're gonna do some duels, and if I completely fail, then probably maybe something else, because you know, defeating a rogue as a warlock is not that easy, so we will see if I can use the footage or not. But if it's like really short, you know, like 5 seconds and then I die, can't really use it, so I have to, you know, at least stretch the fight and survive till the max, or I don't know, record some 2v2, because rogue warlock in 2v2 is actually quite fun to do. So we will see what I will do there. So Census is in it. And then who else? Oh yeah, Reinhardt. I need to duel Reinhardt. I don't see a big problem there because he's an unholy DK, and well, you know, they can be dangerous and they do a lot of damage, but normally I don't have a lot of trouble with you know, unholy DKs. They have AMS, but I can fire right through AMS. So I don't know. They don't really have anything against me, and also like warrior is a. I won versus Pilaf a couple of times. He won more versus me than I won versus him, but like still, warrior can break all my fears and stuff like that, and yeah, DK can't really do that. You know, he's just screwed if I fear him like 3 times, or and then do a mortal coil into a blood horror, into a fucking stun. I mean, into another stun. He's gonna fucking eat the CC like a madman. Yeah, he has of course the ring that protects him from CC if he's in the ring, so he can, and he has a trinket, so he can get out of some CCs, but it's gonna be a pain in the ass, I guess, for him. So I don't really see any big troubles there. I might lose, I might win, but still it's gonna be like fair. And versus a rogue, I just hate it because they have cloak, vanish, you know, and then vanish again or whatever. They always seem to re-stealth even though I put my dots on them. So this is really hard, you know. They can open on you, they just have to wait, you know, especially if they play subtly or whatever how do you pronounce it. They have to play like really like a pussy, you know. It's like opening, doing as much damage as possible, forcing cooldowns, and then after that they re-stealth and just wait. They just wait till some cooldowns get back on, then reopen on you, and they hope to die you in the 2nd burst or in the 3rd burst at least. That's how a rogue works, unless you take a different class then subtly. If you take like, I don't know, combat or assassination, which no one takes, but some people do, I don't know. So yeah, so those people are in it. Yeah, anything else? Well, actually about what I'm doing right here in this BG, I'm using a different, I did some like theory crafting, and I'm using different talents and stuff, which are actually quite interesting, and I will explain them. The problem is in 3v3 that I eat a lot of damage if they go on me. If they go on me, I'm really squishy, I have to use my cooldowns. For example, if they just sit on me without bursting, and for example they manage to CC my healer for 10 seconds, then I'm probably dead unless I use cooldowns. So in these 10 seconds, which is nothing, I have to use, you know, shit like Dark Bargain or some heals at least. And it's a pain in the ass, as you can imagine, using cooldowns just when my healer is CC'd for, you know, some seconds. So that was a big trouble. And then of course my healer also, like if they burst, then my healer has to use some cooldowns, or I definitely have to use cooldowns. And I eat a lot of damage, especially against melee cleaves or whatever, like DK Warrior or Hunter Warrior. Those teams, oh my god, they do a lot of damage on me. It's like, if they switch on me outside of their burst, they don't burst, they just switch on me, I'm dying so fast. So the new tactic is, I have a new burst method that you don't use Chaos Wave anymore. Reason why is because Chaos Wave actually costs a lot of fury, doesn't generate any fury, And well, if it doesn't crit, the damage is not that good. If it crits, it's really good though. You know, it's like 100k, 100k. You know, that's pretty nice. But if it doesn't crit, it's like 50k, 50k. And that's not really, you know, and it doesn't crit that often. So, and you have to be lucky. And I discovered that using all your cooldowns and then applying 2 Hands of Gul'dan, then going into Metamorphosis when the second ball of Hand of Gul'dan hits the floor, it gets some bonus damage. And then you spam Touch of Chaos. That actually does more damage, more burst damage, because while the dots are ticking of Hand of Gul'dan, which are like, it's over time, but in common, if you add it up, it's like the same damage of Chaos Wave, but then over time. So if you are already spamming Touch of Chaos while you're doing the damage of Hand of Gul'dan still, the DPS is actually slightly higher, at least in my tests. So, but you have to pop all your cooldowns before you apply 2 Hands of Gul'dan. And I made a macro for it. It's a pretty noob macro, but it's like a cast sequence macro, so you can just spam it and it applies everything correctly. And I will link it under the like in the description of this video. So yeah, what else? So with this new burst method, you don't need a lot of fury, because the fury the fury generation is quite good, because the Hand of Gul'dan dot generates a lot of fury, especially if you hit it on 2 targets, if they're standing close to each other, you know, it's gonna generate quite some demonic fury, and it doesn't cost them much, so you can actually burst right from the start when you have 200 demonic fury. You can burst, and the burst is not gonna be like 2 seconds long, no, it's gonna be a pretty damn good burst for 200 demonic fury. And the reason why I never used Dark Hypothesis, the tank glyph, that you get reduced damage and stuff, I never used it, and the reason why is because your demonic fury is reset to 200. And I thought it was really bad, because I always needed way more demonic fury to burst properly. You know, I needed like 400 or 500 or something to burst properly. And especially if you use Mineral's Fury, that's gonna eat a lot of them fury, then you need like 1000 demonic fury to burst. But I'm not using Mineral's Fury anymore because it's retarded, and instead I'm going to take I'm using the Archimon's Darkness now, because then at least I can do a small burst. So for example, we do like our main burst, my mage and me together, and then afterwards, if he can burst again, I can at least help him, you know, otherwise I can't, because my sustained DPS is nothing. So then I can help him. So yeah, I can just burst from 200 demonic fury, and then tank glyph suddenly becomes viable. Because if you go into tank glyph, you build a fury with your demonic slashes or whatever it's called. You have like probably almost always something above 200 fury, you know, like almost always. And then if you go and activate your burst macro and you will go into Metamorphosis, you will lose the extra fury, but it doesn't matter, because 200 demonic fury is enough to burst. So that means that you can sit in Dark Hypothesis the whole game almost, which reduces your physical damage by 21%. Then you can take and magical damage by 15%. Then you can take, and you also get a lot of armor. Then you can take Soul Link instead of Dark Bargain, because Dark Bargain is a lifesaver. You know, I love Dark Bargain, especially if they burst. And I think you still need to use some kind of shield, like Dark Bargain or Sacrificial Pact, if they burst on you with the burst class, so Enhanced Shaman and something else or something, I don't know. Then you might use it, but against Warrior, I think Soul Link. And it, if you have a lot of mastery or whatever, I don't know exactly what it increases, but I think master, I don't know. It reduces like damage, or it splits damage by 20%, or is it a bit, yeah, I think it's a bit more actually, I don't know. 21% for me. I think it's influenced by your mastery, I think, right? Or not? I'm just not in. I just woke up, so I forgot. But for me, I think it's slightly more than 20%, if I can remember correctly. Oh no, that's Dark Hypothesis, I guess. It's always 20%. Yeah, it's always 20%. What am I talking about? It's fucking always 20%. I'm so fucking sleepy. So yeah, it's always 20%. So it's like 20% plus 21% from Dark Hypothesis. So you have 41% always damage absorption, at least against physical. And your healer, of course, also has to heal your pet then, but you know, for you it's a lot easier. You can resummon your pet instantly, so it's not that big of a deal. But you have a lot of damage absorption or reduction. And then you can choose to either take your Glyph of Hellstone, which is a good one I think, or you could take Unending Resolve for another 10% passive damage reduction, and then you have 51% physical damage reduction always. And that's why you also don't need Dark Bargain probably, because you have so much damage absorption that your healer can quite easily get you back up to 100% again, and then they can burst on you, but you absorb so much damage that their burst is not that good. However, you can also take the Glyph of the Hellstone, then you don't have Unending Resolve, but you have a panic button, which is, you know, Unending Resolve. So you get a wall, you just have your wall, your 40% damage reduction button. So in that sense, your panic button would be Unending Resolve plus like your heals if you really need to, and then you always have a 41% physical damage reduction. So yeah, that's quite, I would say that's quite good, and a good method, and sitting in Dark Hypothesis is nice. Anyways, this was the video. It's already gone to black screen. Thank you for watching and this theory crafting with me. See you guys next time. Morpheus out. I love you guys. Morpheus 3 coming soon, so you know, stay tuned. And Morpheus out. Bye.